First they came for the jokers, the clowns and the fools. They said, mind your tongue, there are new speech rules.
Hello, hope you can hear okay. I decided to do this outside and then the heavens opened. You can probably hear the rain on the brolly. Yesterday, Joey Barton got convicted of basically hurty words on the internet. Now, what he said wasn't particularly nice. The meme he did with Lucy Ward and I can't even say her name, Anucchio, on the faces of Fred and Rose West. Not my real sort of slant on humour, but offensive maybe. But it was a joke. Jeremy Vine, who I can't stand, I'll be honest. He strikes me as a patronising propaganda mouthpiece. Joey Barton I can't stand. He strikes me, if the media portrayal of him is to be believed, as a thug. I remember an apprentice footballer having a cigarette stamped out in his eye. Now that, I don't know if he did get nicked for it, he may have done. He should be nicked for. But hurty words and saying that Lucy Ward and the other young lady are rubbish pundits on men's football, I agree with him. Now, if you've got to do the DEI quota thing and you've got to have people who've never played that actual version of the game commentating on it, then maybe get someone that really knows their stuff. Emma Hayes is a brilliant female pundit, even on the male game. Brilliant pundit, and there's a few others about as well. But Lucy Ward, she's like the female Gary Neville. I remember watching Gary Neville in the World Cup and he was useless. They got rid of him. He went on a media course, but he was rubbish. And Lucy Ward's the same. Very often, if it's not my own team playing, if it is, I suffer her. I just turn the telly off. It's banal, going through the motions, rubbish that probably any 10-year-old could come out with. So I agree with Joey Barton on that. Do I agree with him saying about Jeremy Vine being a bike nonce? I thought it was funny. And Jeremy Vine, poor man, who'd already said that he thought he was talking to someone with a brain injury when he was talking to Barton, suddenly became offended. Oh, I'm Jeremy Vine, I'm offended. Doesn't matter what I say, but I felt offended when he said, hope you don't bike round schools. I thought it was funny. It was an obvious joke, getting at someone. What an obvious joke. And a judge found him guilty yesterday. Free speech has just gone out of the window. If you're on the right team, you can get away with murder, virtually. Certainly from a metaphorical sense, linguistically wise. But if you're on the wrong team, you're going to prison. And I thought to myself, where does it end? Will some judge one day rule that if you call Keir Starmer or Boris Johnson a liar, you can get nicked for it? Will one day someone who says Bonnie Blue is a mad shagger, will they get nicked for it if she feels offended? Whoa, I just hope people wake up. And that judge, if Joey Barton goes to prison, that judge should be in the cell next to him. And I look on social media at all these celebrity brain deads all applauding it. And there's a saying, I can't remember now, but basically they'll go for them first, then they'll come for you. And that's the way this sort of sensorial cancer grows. So, for me, who can't stand Joey Barton, and for me, who can't stand Jeremy Vine, and for me, who don't know the two young ladies involved but can't stand their punditry, no, jokes. Even if it was an opinion, you shouldn't be going to prison. Wake up, people. Wake up before we find ourselves in total tyranny. Please subscribe to the channel. Please throw the video a like if you agree. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. And I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
First they came for the jokers, the clowns and the fools. They said, mind your tongue, there are new speech rules. We laughed it off, thought it'd pass in a week. But freedom falls silent when the brave don't speak. What did they die for? Those ghosts in the rain, men and women who fought, who suffered the pain. Now truth's on trial in the land of the free, and we whisper our thoughts where our shouts used to be. Then they came for the writers, the singers, the bands with invisible cuffs and invisible hands. Non-crime hate incidents, that Orwellian phrase turns dissent into danger in these darkening days. We built this isle on liberty's flame, not on fear of offense or the weight of shame. Here says trust the law, but whose law is this? Where justice is tired and the truth's hit or miss. What did they die for in Flanders fields wide? What did they die for when brothers and sisters cried for the right to be wrong, for the right to be free, not to tiptoe through thought, police streets quietly? First they came for the speakers and no one replied, for fear of a headline, a mob or a guide. Now we're all just spectators, gagged by consent, while freedom's reduced to a government rent. What did they die for? If we bow and obey, if courage means silence and truth fades away, in the land of Churchill, Orwell and Mill, the free must speak louder than louder still. First they came for the comedians, and I said nothing, for I feared the crowd. Then they came for me, and no voice was left aloud. What did they do?